I'm a gay ghost. Well, today, everyone, we're going to be doing some punch needle work. So I wanted to show off my little Halloween collection of cool little art that I'm working on. So this is the little gay ghost. But, you know, I couldn't just make one. See, this one's for me. I'm going to keep this one. And then this one, I'm going to end up putting up online and stuff. Ooh, it's a gay ghost. And see, here's what it looks like on the other side. Haven't really decided yet if I want to do them this way or do them this way. I haven't really decided yet. Still thinking about it. I gotta trim him up too. He's gotta get some, gotta snip him up. Trim him. And then of course I couldn't just do a gay ghost. I had to do more than just a gay ghost. I do a trans ghost. A little red piece on him. Yeah, get out of there, red pieces. This is my little trans ghost. He goes, boo. Isn't that cool? And see, this one's also not trimmed up yet. I trimmed it up a little bit, but not fully. And then I did this one with like a blue background, whereas this one has a black background. See the difference there? And then, you know, I've had fun this week making these different little guys. I started off making this one. Meant to look like a Black Widow from Avengers. And this one has been all like trimmed up, at least for now. It's been as trimmed up as I can get it. I actually have the razor thing on the way. I decided, I was like, I sold some things and I was like, all right, I gotta go buy it. And I'm happy for it. Isn't that cool? And then that's the back of it. And so, you know, what we're going to do today is either... Hold on, let's get him out of the way there. We're going to do either Ghostface. I've come to kill you. And then I was thinking I could even do his little bloody knife. And I'll do like a little knife on this one. Or I got a pumpkin. Get my cute little pumpkin. Isn't he cute? A cute little pumpkin. And then I've started this one. And then what we can do is add a word in here. So Happy Halloween or boo. I was thinking boo. That's what I was thinking. And so that's what the other side of that looks like. And then I'd fill in the rest with this white or maybe a different color. But you know, the nice thing about punch needling is if you really don't like it, you could literally pull it and pull the whole thing out. Because I also have this one that might be like a little spookier looking. And then I was thinking this for my pumpkin, which is just kind of a wild fabric, a wild yarn that I have. If not, I have this really light colored one too. But I figured we'll start with gay ghost. That's my favorite one. This is what inspired it all. I made this little gay ghost and I was like, oh, I love it so much. I gotta make like a dozen of these. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm making a couple cute ones. And what I figured I wanted to do first is Ghostface. So what I did to make this is I went onto my computer and I found images of Ghostface and then literally just held it up to the screen. And because this is, you know, very see-through, so you can kind of like see my finger there, but after it, see there? And so because of that, I was like, oh, I just put it up on the screen and then lightly traced it with this blue marker. And then went over that blue marker, this. You can kind of see that here for the one. So you see I kind of colored it in and figured out what I wanted, then went back in black. Now all of this eventually will look like this and be covered up. So it doesn't really matter if you use blue or black. I only really did the black for you guys. You know, normally I just do the blue. And then I was like, oh, well, I looked on camera and I was like, the blue doesn't really show. Like from far away, this is also highlighted in blue and you cannot see it at all, right? Where if you look really, really close up, you can kind of see there's some blue to it. But I liked it. I thought it looked pretty cool. you know, little things like we can fix his mouth. We want to make it a little wider, a little narrower. As we're punching, we can go through that and do that. I wanted to actually Okay, so this is what I was talking about, right? So I put him up to the screen like that, and then literally just copied it off of, I think I used the gay one, because like, oh, that's cool. And then kind of like looked at other ones and was like, okay, I'll look at how all of them are done. Because one of these, yeah, this one actually has like all the comparisons of the slightly different masks in different episodes. So, you know, slightly different ones. And then you can even, if you need, be like, okay, so this part is black and this part is white, black, and that's black as well. And so it might be hard to see, but I wrote in there what colors, and then I'll keep this kind of thing up for me. I mean, we don't need it for you guys, but we need it for me. Right? So I just kind of like, I'll be able to see, I'll look over and be like, oh, okay, this is how that's going to happen. And so what I'm using is a big thing of acrylic yarn. This is not the highest quality material by any means, but you don't always need the highest quality if at least you have a really high quality instrument. This is let's see if I can get that to focus. But yeah, it's called the Oxford. It's the Oxford punch needle. This is the best kind because it has that in it. It has that little hook in the end. And what you do, take your yarn, twist. I always like to twist up the little end just a little bit there. Helps it to go through that hole. See, now you have it on there, so now it's, you know, it's connected on there. Right? You can wear it as a necklace now. But that's not what we want to do. We want to use it to actually display stuff. So we gotta use it to punch holes and things. So what you're gonna do is I always like to twist it and put it right on through the hole, right? There we go. It's hard to do it while also showing camera. And then you'll notice at this point, it's kind of like loose in there, and there is a channel. You can see, and there's a channel there. And so you just literally, I usually just pull both sides, and that will put it down in the hole. Then what you want to do is pull, and you'll feel at a certain point it's gone into it. See that now it's flush with it. And then the nice thing about it is you can always pull it back. So you don't really have to waste anything. See, I'll only waste that much. And what a little secret is, if this is the height of your punch, of your loop, then you could basically leave it that big and you don't even have to cut anything later. You always want to start with your smallest details first and work out. So the smallest thing on this guy is his nose. So we're going to punch through to the other side. As you can see, you have that there. Now when I pull this and poke through again, pull it, poke through again, pull it, poke it, pull it, poke it through. You see what it's doing? See, it's leaving these individual little loops on the other side. And it's determined by how long this is. So you can see it here. This is pulled thread that far. So when I pull back, you see what it's doing? See, it's leaving some of that there. And so as I pull out, and I poke in again, you can see again. when I pull, because this is at tension, right? It's at tension right now. Then I release the tension and poke it back. And I've actually found that it does work better if you jam it, you know? You gotta kind of jam it in there. And then when you're done with that one section, I then pull it through on this side, and I'm pulling while holding the thread down with my finger. If you don't do that, you'll actually pull out your thread here. Did I grab my... You know what? I didn't grab my scissors. Hold on. You know, trying to prepare for these things, it's always like... Because I sit here and I do my punch needle work there while I'm watching TV. Because it's like one of the best little like indoor nighttime hobbies when you're watching some program like The Office or, you know, Community or whatever you've already seen 15 times. You know, Futurama, Ghost in a Shell, whatever it is that you watch. The Bachelor, Amazing Race, whatever it is, right? It's a great show for that, because it's just like you can be doing this and then look up and then kind of do this some more and then look up. You're like, oh yeah, that was cool. Do, back to my thing. Oh, okay, do another line. You know what I mean? It's like the perfect hobby for that. And so this is what it looks like on this side. He's got a little nose. And then we got to give him little eyes. And so what I'm doing here, again, punch through. Make sure this is going all the way. For that first one, you do want to go as far. If it doesn't, you know, you can always pull. See, I'm pulling on this side to get it, you know, nice and short. Now, the secret to punch needling is you have to stay on the fabric the whole time. So as I pull up, I'm going and going in. You see that? So I'm not taking it like, you don't do this. You don't do that. Because first of all, what happens is you can easily pull out your threads, right? But if that does happen, what you're going to do is simply, kind of hard to do this while also holding it, but you're going to pull it back so that it's tight again to our thread. So you see, it's only this much, right? And then punch. And then this right here is the front of it. That always needs to be, so like right now, I'm going this way. It needs to be that direction. You have to have it facing what you want it to face. So when I'm turning here, I'm actually turning my entire hand and the device in it and getting it in that curve. If you don't, it will not work. It will literally just not work. Your tension will be off, and this entire thing is based around tightness. Because this itself, you hear that? Look how tight that is. That's a tight drum. All right? Like a virgin on prom night. Tight. You know what I mean? But yeah. And then whoop. Whoop. And I will say I'm doing it very small right now, just to kind of, it's easier to manage. But you don't necessarily have to. You can do it a little bit wider if you want. Because on the other side, you can see it's already kind of become a mess. You can barely tell what the nose is and what the eye is. And we'll fix that with putting that white in there. That will fix that. Let's go ahead and just finish his eye here. And if I mess up, all I gotta do is pull the stitch out, get it back to tight, and there we go. And see, I'm turning it again. And you'll notice when I turn it, sometimes that happens. You have to have, you know, it's funny, this has to be very, very tight. This, the actual thread itself coming out of here, actually has to be very loose. because you are grabbing. See, every time I pull down, it's maybe hard to see on the camera, but I'm actually pulling more fabric or more thread from here. A bug in my house. And then I am done with this guy, so I hold that yarn, and I can pull it as much as I want. A lot of times I can pull it like, an inch or two, and then take your scissors, go in there nice and flush with it. See that? Nice and flush, and snip it. And now you have an eyeball. But you can see on the back, it's just kind of a jumbled mess. Because if you think about it, the distance between here to here is only 1 or 2 stitches. And so I'll show you how to fix that in a second here. Let's go ahead and get our other eye done. My family is on vacation this next month, and so these live streams will be free of family for a little while here. So feel free to join in. If my family has ever been like the deterrent for you not to join, just know that they will not be here for the next month or so, as they are busy traveling and seeing some other members of the family. And good for them. I'm glad for them. They definitely needed that vacation. They hadn't been able to see the Lebanese part of the family in quite some time, Now, I will say this is my first ghost face I'm ever making, so I'm sure my ghost face will be a little, messy compared to others, and that's fine. Remember, we stay improving, right? We just keep going. You know the past, it happened, and that's okay, and you can let it go. Just move on from that dirty past. If you don't do it right, hey. This is the perfect hobby, honestly, for a lot of people that are indecisive as well. Like me, I've always kind of struggled with designs and, actually pulling the trigger, as they say, and getting something done has always been tough for me, because I'm always like, well, I could be doing something else, right? And it's like punch needling, I find, is one of the best hobbies for people that are like that are very shy and just don't really know always how to ask for what they want. I find that punch needling is best for those kind of people, because if you don't like it, you can literally just yank it on out. Alright, like watch. I don't like, oh, that face is not looking good. Yeah. Boom. Gone. And the coolest thing is, there's no loss. Here's all that thread that we just pulled out. So we just put all of that into the piece and took it right on out, just like that. And then all I gotta do is pull on the end, get it back to that beginning state, and we're back, ready to do it again. So, oh, you know what? I want to do that in purple. Pull it out, do it again, right? It's just literally that easy. So that's what makes it nice, because you can do something like this and be like, oh, you know what? I wanted that in red, or I wanted that in blue, and just pull it right on out. It's only when you glue it down is it ever really permanent. All of this stuff right now, I could just pull right on out. So yes, that's something that, to consider when doing punch needling and getting into this art form, is that it is a great thing for the indecisive, that you can kind of keep playing around. If you need to try something 2 or 3 times to get it the way that you want it to be done, then congratulations, you found the hobby for you, I know that's what I think I love about it, is that I can do it pretty fast. And for instance, like the ghost, I was like, okay, I made one. Now I made this trans one, and I ended up not liking it. You see the back of it, like I tried that way, and so the next one I'm going to do, I'm going to try this way. Because this one's like, I went around and around. I'm going to go to the bottom to the top. And that's how I'm going to do the next one. You know what I mean? Hello, we're doing punch needle work. making Ghostface right now. And so this is kind of a preview of what I'm trying to do next year. One of the things that I want to do is start my own Facebook group, and on every Tuesday we will essentially go over what has happened, what we've been doing in the art world. And so, you know, that was kind of the idea there, is that we can have fun and have a casual little Tuesday where we hang out and, you know, share art with each other. If you're into scrapbooking, you can share that. If you're into punch needling, share that. Whatever you need to share with the group, we will happily listen and chill with you, you know? Boom. It kind of looks inappropriate, huh? So, what do you do about that? You might wonder, because now you have this piece, and on this side, it looks like a face, right? It looks like Ghostface. On this side, it definitely doesn't. Well, you take your trusty scissors, and you actually, that's right, you actually cut it. Now, a couple things to know about this. Right off the bat, it is messy. Like, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, deny that this is a messy hobby. But if done with the right techniques, it will really increase the viability of your art form. You know, how much you could technically make off of it. That's what viability is. And then, as well with that, the legibility. And so what we're doing is simply laying it flat. You know, you don't want to go in like that. That's bad. You want to lay it flat. In fact, you know, I can even like kind of scrape it on there like it's laying it so flat. And then cut. Just cut the ends all off. And then what you want to do is then go back and actually, so right now I'm straight, right? 90, go at a 45-degree angle, and do the entire thing again, but this time at a 45-degree angle. And what that will do is, when the new white stuff comes in a minute here, when I put the white in, it will be so much better, so much more legible. And then, if you have all this mess, what you do is simply vacuum it. Because it is relatively strong. When I say I can pull it out easily, I do want to stress that it's not that fragile, right? So I'm going to mute myself so you can't hear it, because I don't want to, you know, annoy you guys, but hold on. Boom. You see what it's done? Look how much more shape we now have. Alright? Now, we haven't done anything inside yet, but you can kind of already see, right? You can see that it's so much rounder and thinner here, right? Because it's two eyes, a nose, and a mouth, right? So now what you do is you go in. And, you know, sometimes I will say this takes a few times. That can often take a few times to get it, you know, trimmed up properly. There we go. And I mean, now it really looks like a dick, huh? Well, what we're going to do now, let's see, let me make sure I am. So what you can do if you're kind of lost on like, where is my nose, where is my stuff, you know, push them around. It's your art, it's your stuff. Push it and pull it however you need it to be pushed and pulled. I would say this is crucial to do before you keep going and doing other stuff. And I actually have been doing this as well, which is like trimming the whole piece down. One of the cool effects of this is that you can actually make it so that if you look at this one, the ghost eyes are like more sunk in. It's maybe hard to tell, but the ghost eyes are very much sunk in. Tell me in the future if you actually do want to hear the vacuuming noises. I don't know. I kind of was like, I don't think they want to hear that. But you tell me. Yeah, this is what it would sound like. So tell me if that was too annoying for you guys or not. And this trimming process can take, I mean, for a large piece or something, like an hour. You know what I mean? It can take a while. But you've seen what's happened now is you can see there's actually like a separation here forming. And you know, once you really put some time and effort, because I want to do now is split. Often what happens the first time around is you get a few like straggler pieces. So that's why I end up, you know, kind of coming back and trimming all that down. And that will help you a ton. Notice also that it has not affected this side at all. That is still exactly the same, because once you punch this in, it's two sides, right? It always will permanently be those two sides. All right. I always end up like covering myself in this fur, especially the acrylic. So now you can kind of see you have a little, so you have a big section up top, and then there's actually like a little section in the middle, and then a bottom section. So now you have all three like little sections done. And I could go in and even further trim this, but I would say at this point, once it's been, you know, at least you start getting some definition in it, you know, and you can kind of start to feel the nose and feel the parts individually, I would recommend kind of moving on from them. Because you could honestly be here, as I said, for an hour plus, just doing, you know, the most minor trims. So what we're going to do, when you're done with one color, lovely thing about punch needling, boop, no waste. You 100% have all of that still there. So half of Ghostface is black and half of Ghostface is, that's right, white. Acrylic ones like this often have it so you can pull it straight out the middle. And that's what you want. If you can find one that is straight out the middle like that, highly recommend it. Now, I will say acrylic is the cheapest of all the yarns. So these pieces are mostly decorative. The plan is all of this behind me, that's all very, very plain right now. The idea is over the next, 5 years or so to keep going there. Hopefully you guys will send me some cool art that you do. I'll send you guys some cool stuff, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the idea, is that wall is to be grown, right? So eventually I'll put this piece up on it, and I'll put my little trans ghost. See my little trans ghost once I get him all cut up. Or my gay ghost. My little gay ghost. Ah, gay ghost. Right? Or even this one, it's the other side. And see, all I did was literally just tape up the back. So now you can't see it. And so I, just grab a hook and hook it, and it will go right on there. And then next season, I can unscrew this, put a new one in, and there you go. And I got that frame for about 40 cents. The fabric cost me $3. Well, $3 a yard. That's obviously not a yard of that fabric. And the yarn in it was about $1 for, for the whole entire, I buy them used at thrift stores. This was $1. Brand new, never used. I just had the, oh, $2. It was $2. I don't know if you guys can see that. It says Grand Central, $2. Brand new. I mean, literally never used, right? I had to take the thing off myself and use it myself for $1. All right, $2. So, that's the thing, is this hobby, you can get into it for pretty cheap. That's one of the things I really like about this hobby, is that you can really get a... Oh, cool, man. Hello, SR. SOR. So what we're doing today is making Ghostface. See? Ghostface. There we go. Ghostface. So making Ghostface, Tuesdays are for crafts. Arts and crafts is what Tuesdays are for. I wanted to turn them into kind of like a hangout sesh, so, whatever you're up to, feel free to share it, and then we can talk about it. On Wednesdays, I will be doing a lot more gaming streams, and then a Thursday, of course, running my business and showing off all the cool things that I can do. But I want to have a good, positive work-life balance. So I have time for my hobbies, I have time for friends and fun, but also, gotta get that paycheck too, right? But I don't promote, the hustling 24/7 kind of mentality that so many people have. I promote happiness and chill, so that's why we do this. Yeah, that's what I looked like a minute ago, being stuck in the Valentine jail with randoms. Huh? Yeah, I feel you on that one, man. The internet's, the internet is nothing but random people, right? So I feel you on that. So I have one row done, and all you do is keep filling in. One of the keys to punch needling is you do it as a chain. So think of a brick house. So there's two of them, and then you have one in the middle, and then two, then one in the middle, then two, and that's how you do punch needling. And that way you get really good density. But yeah, I feel you on that. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing some Back for Blood, and Back for Blood with randoms. I mean, I've had one group go with me for 3 hours. We pushed through, started at the beginning, finished the entire first campaign. I then went, okay, they had to leave, right? I go, okay, I went to go join a lobby for level 2. We couldn't get past the first level because Most of them were like had never played, were just complete randoms, and I was like, "Hey guys, what are you doing starting on chapter 2?" "Oh, well, my friend wanted to play." I was like, "Yeah, but who says like he knew what he was doing, right?" It's like, and he was like, "Yeah, some other people brought me up to this point, and so now I want to continue from it." I'm like, "Yeah, but you haven't practiced at all. You haven't tried at all." So, you know, some people in video games, they really think that, you know, they are the bee's knees, the best thing ever, and you're like, dude, you have a KD ratio that's so bad that Russians trying to recruit you. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. Some people just don't know that they don't got it. But hey, that's all right. Hopefully they learn eventually. You know, I know one of them I was playing with Back in Blood, and I ended up friend requesting them and stuff because I'm like, look, I'll keep teaching you how to play this game as long as when I talk, you listen and do what I tell you to do. And he does, so I was like, cool, we'll keep playing with him, you know? But yeah, dude, it can suck. Randoms on the internet, man. The bane of any gamer. Is that a... that's a flaw in it. If you ever end up with a flaw, like this one, just cut it out. Unfortunately, sometimes you do get a little bit of waste. What I've been doing is actually I've been saving all of this, and then I'm going to sew it. And so that way I literally have zero waste. I'm glad you decided to join me today. I know the folks are busy. My chat will be quiet for the next month or so as they travel abroad and such. But I'm glad that they're getting to see, you know, the family and stuff. Yeah, I think so too. They're gonna have a lot of fun. I know when they came to visit me, it was like so quick. I was kind of like right in the middle of like trying to quit work, but like wasn't there yet. And then the parents just kind of pushed me right over that edge, and they were like, "Yeah, go for it." And I was like, "All right, cool." So they were the final straw that I needed to be like, okay, I'm gonna take the plunge into my own business, which is doing good. I have, you know, 2 weeks in a row I've done drops. I have a few people like talking to me in my DMs to try to, you know, do some custom orders and things like that. The hardest part, you know, is of course everyone's a critic, all right? Everyone's kind of like, oh, this is how I would do it or that. I'm like, okay. You know, we'll figure it out. I know Miss Debbie Doo was the first one to ever send me a present. She sent me the newest Lego kit. The Succulents Lego kit. So I'm gonna, you know, probably wait until they come back and then build that one. But I have that ready to go. So that day, one day, I can do that instead of doing some punch needle work or any kind of other arts and crafts. But, you know, Tuesdays are for hanging out and doing art. All right. He's got a face. And then again, this has not been, you see now, you notice one's been trimmed and one hasn't, right? So that has like a lot of clarity to it, but then the white is now in the way. And so what you got to do is kind of go in there and start grabbing the two pieces and separating them. And see, I've seen people do it with like tweezers and stuff too. And if you have any loose pieces like this, just cut them. That's the lovely thing about this art form, is that you can just chop away whatever you don't like, and if it's too much or too little, well, you can always just toss the whole thing. Rip it all out and do it again. So now we're going to switch back to black. I believe it's the old song goes. Back in black. Same thing as always, just put it through the little hole in the back. And then through the little hole in the front. And then pull it till it's flush. There you go. Next color changed. Alright, that's how quickly and easily you can do it. This is definitely one of the best at-home little hobbies that I have found, because it is just so easy to do. And then, as always, we do need to trim. Now, I would recommend getting a project box or something like that to do this in, because you will absolutely, you can see the pieces and parts are just flying everywhere, right? And normally I do have a little box that I cut this in, but obviously I wanted to show you guys. There we go, get some snips in there. And then I like to give the whole thing a trim as well. Hand trimming like this is definitely partially dangerous, so if you don't feel that you're up to it, you don't have to do it. I just like it because it gives it more of a what's called a cut pile rug instead of a loop pile rug look. Even though this was loop piled. Gives it the appearance of a cut pile. Alright, let me mute myself 1 second and clean up. There we go. I also went and got my hair cleaned today, so my hair should be really nice today. Should look really good. So far, I think it's looking pretty good. There's also this side as well. But we still have one more piece to do, his like outer cape. So we've done his eyes, his nose, his mouth, and his face. Now you gotta get the rest of them done. Another little common tip for everyone. A lot of times you might think of starting here at the bottom. Don't. Start an inch or so up, and that will save you so much troubles. The reason for it is you would also have to stop at that same point. And if you think about it, it's like you would have to have an extreme amount of precision to do that. Whereas if you just start over here like an inch or so up, then you also get to stop there too. And so that way it makes it so much more easy. You know, you're doing it not at the extremes, you're doing it right in the middle, and you know, that'll save you so much effort. Hello, how you doing, Umpty? We're making Ghostface. Ah. Making Ghostface. And then afterwards, I'm going to make, or at least start and make, a pumpkin. I also made a little gay ghost. Ah, I'm a gay ghost. And a little trans ghost. But he has not been trimmed up yet. And then this is the one I made for me. Isn't that cute? I put this one on Instagram the other day. And then, you know me, I'm not great at the advertising part yet, and I forgot to say that, like, hey, you should come to this stream because I'm going to show people how to do it. And I thought about it this morning. I was like, oh, man, I completely forgot to actually, like, advertise that. Advertising is, I've gotten really comfortable in front of the camera, looking into that lens and everything. So, Ghostface is the straight one. Actually, no, not really, right? Isn't that whole thing a gay analog? You know, I just didn't feel it was right to make a straight one. I wouldn't know. Plus, is there even a straight flag? I don't know if that exists. They don't need more things, huh? No, but I mean, I'd happily make one realistically, you know. You know me, I'm not actually gonna hate or discriminate ever. It's like, you know, so it's all good. You know, tell me what colors you want, and I'll make you one. I was thinking I might make a ghost out of this one. I like that thread a lot. It's just like a bunch of dark colors. And then this is what the pumpkin's gonna be out of. It's like blue, but also like orange. That's the only orange one I have. I was gonna make one out of this one too, like a dark rainbow. But I don't know. I don't know what the straight colors are. I gotta do it, make it look like a diesel truck or something. I was thinking I might also do some ones that look like the Funko ones. See, I was looking at this one earlier. This one, like earlier, and that was reminding me of like, oh, I could do like a chibi one or like one that was similar. Yeah, I've watched him before. He's not my favorite. He's definitely... Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, rugs are extremely popular right now. Punch needling and stuff like this. I'm actually going to get the tufting guns for Christmas. So I'll be doing that as well, making some nice rugs, and hopefully I can charge a good price for them as well. But yeah, no, I haven't looked into him recently. I felt that he was very straight. And as much as I like straight people, sometimes I'm like, all right, dude, cool. And I think also I've gotten out of the mystery box game, and he's very mystery box heavy. And so I kind of, a lot of like the slap shots and Poppin' Duo and a lot of the people that are just like heavily into Funko and stuff, I've kind of stopped watching them. Doing the rug is very expensive. The gun alone is $300, if not up to $500, depending on what kind you get. Then you need a frame. Like this frame cost me like $5. They use 10 by 10, like 10 foot by 10 foot frames, which is all wood, right? So it's buying a bunch of 2x4s and hooking them all together. Then the fabric is $15 or so a yard. Then the glue on the back is about $20 a gallon. And if you put a backing on that, you can add another expense to it. Then you need to, like, the edges on, like, here, they all need to be done, right? Because, like, you can't just do it like that. You have to actually, like, put a binding strip on it. That binding strip's another, like, $5-10 a yard. So, I mean, making just a 1 foot by 1 foot rug easily costs you in supplies up to $40. Just in supplies alone. So, I mean, that's why, you know, these rugs, like, I got one downstairs. It's a 2 foot by 3 foot made by Rugula. And it's a Phoenix-based artist. It's so good. Oh, good. He's not into Funkos. You know what? I'll definitely check him out then. Because a lot of that Funko community, I'm just out of it. I'm literally in the process of selling, like, 90% of this is about to go. Like, I'm slowly selling it all on Mercari and stuff. I just sold today, or I don't know if he's actually bought it yet, but I put a package together for selling off Star-Lord and Nick Fury with the cat. Because I have collectors, I get the collectors, Marvel Collectors Core. It's the only part of Funko that I'm really still a part of. Because the mystery boxes, man, I just couldn't do it no more. You know what I mean? You'd spend $45 getting stuff from, like, the lucky people, and for what, a scratch card of 200 points? Like, I was out, man. You know what I mean? I just couldn't do it no more. And then plus, with starting this company up myself, it's like, so, yeah. I have these scissors I bought from, like, Target for, like, you know, $4 during back to school sale. They work really well, but it's like, you know, some of them, I have duckbill ones too. I just bought the clippers. I just bought here. Tough time. These are the ones, if you ever want anything, these are the guys to get it from, right here. I know, right? It's because it was a, you know, everyone was, during 2020, they were freaking out, and they were like, what are we going to do? And it's like, well, what we're going to do is buy mysteries because we need that, right? But see, look, on sale, $265, right? And it's like, see, the one that I really want, he does some limited edition ones, too. They're dope. Look at this one. I think I'm either going to do the daisies or probably the retro groovy. Isn't that cool? But it's the same price too, like $275, and it's really nice. And then of course, just the like the backing cloth and that kind of stuff. Look at that, $40 a yard for that stuff, and it's 157 width, huge width. Right, that's why it's so expensive. Because there are some that are cheaper and stuff too. But it's like, yeah, dude, absolutely a wild hobby to get into. But the punch needling part, that part is actually really not bad. Like, I bought this frame for like $5. This guy was the most expensive one. It was $20. And then this entire thing of all of this yarn, it's acrylic, $2. I was showing this one off earlier. It had like the price still on it, $2. From the Goodwill on Grand Central, that's what it says there, Grand Central, $2 for this entire thing. Brand new. All right, never been used. I literally had to take it out of its thing. It's called a skin, S-K-E-I-N, wrong side, this one. Yeah, so I mean, super cheap hobby to get into, but if you get into the rug part of it, you're immediately hitting like $500 just to start. And it's so, but that's why I started here, because if you don't like this, then you're not going to like that hobby. Because this is the exact same stuff. These are rugs. These are 100% rugs. You know what I mean? Like, they're exactly 100% rugs. They're just, you know, rugs made by hand and in, you know, a cheaper yarn because I'm using it decoratively. I'm not doing, you know, when I want to sell them, I'm going to be doing it all out of wool. And the wool, like New Zealand wool, is like $20-30 for something this size. You know, I bought it for $2, $30 or so for something that size. So So, you know, your expenses are huge, which is why, like, I bought a 2x3 foot rug for my birthday, and it was like $300. So, you know, it depends on who and what they're making. I know it's a big hobby now. And so that's why I kind of like started with the punch needle, because I was like, okay, let me see if I actually want to put 500 into it. Because if I don't, then it's like, whatever, right? You know what I mean? It was cool. I spent the $20, $100 on it, and then moved on, right? Actually, you know, I'm getting the itch, that mystery box itch every once in a while still. Because I'll see something, I'll be like, like I literally took Whatnot and Pop Shop Live like off my iPad because I was spending too much money. Because it's so easy, you know what I mean? It's so easy to click a button. You don't think about it when you're clicking that button. You don't really think about it. It's only later when it's like, oh man, I spent $100 today. Whoops. When I was only clicking the button 2 or 3 times, you know? But I still have some mystery boxes here and there that I like. Especially the Marvel Collector's Course one. I like that one because I know for a fact that they are unique stuff. You know what I mean? They don't resell them later. It's always just that one. Like, they just make it that one time. So that's the only one I think I still do. And next year I still plan on doing the Marvel's Collector's Course. I do have to go into my account and change my size because I've been working out, and so now I can't wear extra larges anymore. I was wearing one the other day, and oh my god, it was so big. Right? I know, right? That stuff, it was one of those things is like, I remember when it first came out in 2020, I was so excited about it. I was spending $100 every 2 or 3 days. Easily, if not $300-$400 if I really was loving something, you know. And I realized quickly that it's like, you know, I would show up go home from work and have like 4 boxes sitting there on my front porch, and I'm like, oh shit, what did I do? You know. So it definitely messed with me a lot. I was like, man, I think honestly it delayed my business probably 6-7 months too, just because I was like, oh man, I can't afford to do this business right now if the fact that I've literally spent all my money on Funko. But, you know, I'm doing a lot better now. I think a lot of that was just the stress of, you know, 2020 and all that. Now I've kind of balanced myself back out and go like, okay, what do I need? What am I keeping? I'm gonna do a segment next year. Cool, man. See ya. Yeah, but I'm gonna be doing a thing next year for my Funkos and like keeping only like 20 or 30 of them, and the rest I'm gonna get rid of. Call it my Funko My Vault because they vault things, and so I'm gonna call it My Vault. Cool, man. See you later. Yeah, it's kind of my Tuesday vibe now, is always doing crafts, including Legos and other stuff, you know. But thanks, man. I'll talk to you later. Have fun at your fundraiser. See, we're just gonna pull that right on back. No waste. That's one of the best things about this hobby, is that there is very little to no waste. And as I was just saying with him about the mystery boxes, it's like the mystery boxes were so much waste. I'd maybe keep 1 or 2 pieces and the rest I'd get rid of, right? So it's like, it was one of those things I was like, I needed something in my life that had some real stability to it. And I feel this punch needle, it definitely has, it's a very stable hobby. Because you're just kind of, you know, I drew, it starts, you know, blank, and then I drew whatever I wanted on it, and then boom, 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 and what? An hour, we have this. And really, if I was, you know, going at full speed, I would have had this thing done by now. a lot of it, of course, was just demoing it to you guys and showing you guys how to do it all. Which, don't get me wrong, I like that part, you know what I mean? I love the interacting. It's one of those things is I was always so afraid of other people, and I just had like an hour conversation with this person in Romania. My number one fan right now for Way of the Hunter is this guy who lives in Romania. He's actually been to Transylvania's castle, like Dracula's castle. He's actually been to Dracula's castle. I was like, dude, that is so cool. And so, maybe I'll do a Dracula one for him. I'll do a Dracula one. That'd be fun. But he watches all my Way of the Hunter streams, which I'll be doing more of that on Wednesday. Wednesday, I'll be doing more Way of the Hunter. I think probably every Wednesday and Sunday I'll be doing gaming is what I'm thinking. That way I'm up to 4 days a week. With the goal of, the next 2 years getting up to 7 days of streaming. Every single day streaming. That's just the life that I've signed up for. And I'm actually really starting to enjoy it, to be honest. It's really changed my life a lot. I never would have ever considered myself an outgoing person. And now, being on the internet, I find these kind of people that are just like me, And it makes me realize I was never really that different at all. Just shy. And so, now I've overcome that. And I'm not really that shy anymore. I think doing internet stuff, you can only say you're but so shy, right? And not really that timid anymore either, huh? I've gone to a lot of online forums, trying to improve my punch needle work, and I've had multiple people tell me that I do too high of a density. See, if you look on this side, you can actually see it's basically done, right? Look at that side. See how empty that whole middle is? So that's what's fascinating about punch needling as well, is that you actually have to make a decision about what side is your predominant side. Because I could consider this piece done right now if I wanted, and if I was only doing this side. But I wanted to be able to do both sides to kind of show you guys, the difference. And so I have to keep increasing my density, which makes it harder to punch and does, kind of add some frustration to it. But I would say it makes the piece nicer, because then you can trim it later, and because it's also dense, you get a beautiful dense rug out of it. And in fact, I do use these. This is one that's done, and I literally put my stuff on it all the time. And I've had people tell me, like, this is not great, because it's like carpet level thickness. This is literally a 1/4 inch thick. So you see in there, you're literally looking at a 1/4 inch there. But I love them. I think for an adult, they work perfect. A child would probably spill these things, But I put it right on there, and I've never had it fall off yet. I think it's more of a responsibility thing. If you can get it going, then you're good, But I've had other people tell me that I need to use a lower needle, because this is how big your thing is. It's how big your loops are going to be. was planning on doing both the pumpkin and this one today. I figured this one was only going to take me, normally this size only takes me about 30 minutes to 40 minutes, but I didn't factor in the talking part and like the showing people constantly like what I'm doing. I forgot that part and how long that was going to take. So I think we'll just do Ghostface for today, and then what we'll do is next Tuesday we'll do the pumpkin. And then if you guys have any questions or comments, or you want me to make you something, put it in the comments below, and I'll make you something. You know, we can make, instead of the pumpkin, we can make whatever. I'm gonna do where'd it go? This guy, this little one. See, it's like smaller than this guy. He's gonna be like a bloody knife. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, cool. What's your craft project you're working on? That's kind of the point of these Tuesdays, is I want to be able to talk to other people about what their crafts are. You know, hobbies are very important. They help for mental stability and help you relieve stress, while also just giving you a personal sense of responsibility. Because, you know, only you can finish that blanket or finish that painting or finish that whatever. That's your choice and your workmanship. And so it's very important to find yourself a little hobby, something to do to keep your mind occupied. And see, there you go, right? Now, this is, again, not trimmed up. Ready? Boom. How does he look? He looks pretty good, I say. What do you think? He looks pretty good, don't he? Now, we got to do another one, which is going to be like the outside of it, just to finish it off. And I have another one for that. 1 second. Let me go get him. I have a dark blue that I'm going to use. And this is my dark blue one. You know, just to kind of give him like a nighttime look to him, so he will be in the nighttime. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. There we go. Well, I'm glad you're working on your own crafts project, though. One thing that I do plan on doing and getting up and running next year is a Facebook group, so that you can then post your photos on there. And if you've ever seen a lot of YouTubers, they will do what called meme reviews, and I want to do craft reviews. So like, you know, you post your craft and then me and you and other people can then talk about it. The challenges that you faced or things that you learned. That way we can all grow together and stay improving, you know? That's the goal. Ooh, actually, let me trim this little guy up first. I almost forgot to trim him myself. I will also be getting a new microphone for Christmas as well. So that way I can improve my audio quality as well. Because I don't like it when I can hear myself breathing. That's not good. But, you know, that's the goal of a small little YouTuber like me. We gotta keep growing, you know? As I always keep saying, stay improving. And in fact, the term "stay improving" will be my first ever t-shirt. Next year, I will be launching a t-shirt, and that t-shirt will say "Stay improving." Which is why you might hear me saying that a lot now, because I'm trying to make sure that, you know, it's associated with me and all that goodness. Because that's what I had to do. It took me a long time to get to this point of coming on your TV and, you know, showing off my vulnerabilities and, you know, what I do. That takes a lot of effort. And so, you know, I want to stay improving. There we go, much better. He's already looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and finish him off in the last 10-20 minutes of this little stream here. And then we'll be done here in about 15 minutes or so. I'm gonna go ahead and power through the end of this, huh? The music is provided by the Relaxed Movement on YouTube. I do have YouTube Premium, so if you notice there is no ads. I recommend YouTube Premium, and I recommend the Relaxed Movement to everyone. I feel that, you know, he is giving his music away for free. I'm not sponsored by him or anything like that. But I do feel it's important to always shout out the Relaxed Movement. They are producing high quality, free music for all streamers to use, which I think is amazing and nice. And is very much what I'm basing myself on as well, is trying to give free advice as well as usable content to other people. You know, the goal is to give you guys a little family time, a little hangout and craft time with me. And hopefully, you know, with you and your family as well. Always make sure to keep your tension loose on the thread and tight when it's going in. Have you watched any good movies or anything lately? I just watched Love and Thunder, the Thor movie, the other day. It was okay. Kind of predictable. Then again, I kind of already knew all the God Butcher stuff that happens. I thought Christian Bale did the best in that movie, honestly. I thought he was by far and away the best actor in the entire movie there. He really became the God Butcher, which is, you know, always Christian Bale's specialty, right? He loves doing character work and being evil like in American Psycho, or being, you know, very vigilant like in Equilibrium. And so I was very pleasant. Actually, I didn't know that he was Gore the God Butcher. And then I saw him and I was like, I know that voice. I was like, that voice is freaking Christian Bale's. So if you haven't seen it, it's on Disney Plus. I definitely recommend it. And you know, you don't really need to know anything else about that series to really be able to do it. Like, it kind of covered the past for you, just in case you hadn't really seen or heard of the other movies. So it very much was kind of an independent movie in that sense, which was nice. And nothing like important necessarily happens. I mean, there's a lot of setup for the future in those movies. But I do recommend it, you know? It'd be really good. I also saw Hocus Pocus 2 the other day. That was an amazing movie. Highly recommend. Now, granted, you know, it is a kid's movie, so if you go in thinking, oh, this is, you know, it's 10 years later, it's going to be an adult movie now, it's like, no, this is still the cheeseball movie that it was, which is what makes it good. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I liked about it, is that Hocus Pocus was so horny and so cheesy, and this new one is basically the same, just horny and cheesy. Why Disney's making that movie, I have no idea, but hey. Sometimes, every once in a while, they just come out with a horny-ass fucking Disney movie, you know? They got a quota every once in a while. But it was really good. I mean, for a kids movie. Have you seen anything that you like? Scratch there. I was hit my own little thing. Okay, so as you can see, it'll be better to get the light on there. You can really see it then. There we go. So you can see the dark blue and the ghost face in there. And there he is, ghost face. Which of course I'll then trim up this as well, and it will look even better once I, give that a little trim as well. Do be careful with your hands and all your body parts there when you're using scissors. I've been sewing professionally for almost a decade now, so I can cut stuff in my sleep. I know how to handle, a nice pair of scissors, no problem. But if you don't, just take your time, You don't have to go at my space. I just happen to know how to do this stuff at this point. spooky. What do you think? It looks pretty good, I think. I think it looks pretty freaking cool. That's fine. Isn't that cool looking? So that's my ghost face. And then what you do eventually is I can trim up this and either glue it down on this side, display it like that, or kind of sew it down that way and display it like this. However I want to display it, you know? The ghetto way is just doing it like this. But it looks good, right? I think it looks pretty cool. I could, definitely do a few more trims. Get those eyes in a little better shape. You see what I'm saying? I could get the eyes a little better and stuff. I have a trimmer coming that's going to be like, it's basically like a beard shaver, but much more like heavy industrial. And that way I don't have to manually snip it anymore. I'll be able to just go zzz, 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 and be done. You know what I mean? It'd take 2 seconds instead of taking 15 minutes. But yeah, I really like it. One of the best things about it is 3D art. So, it physically has dimension and size and shape to it. And you can do it like the blue I could have untrimmed and left not trimmed. And he could have been hiding in a bush, right? It's like, that's what I love about punch needling is it's 3D art. So you can really sit there and mess with it and get what you want out of it, Whether it's, a little trans guy, a little gay dude, or even this style, nice little outline, nice little thing. You can get so much diversity out of it, and you can do so much little cool art with it. I could have done one of these sides other way, right? And you would have flipped it. I mean, all kinds. It's endless, that's the cool thing about this art form. It's really like an endless art form. So that is what we will be doing today. That is, I don't have a name for this yet, so we will have to figure out a name for Crafting Tuesdays, because that's what I'm going to be doing going forwards, is all the Tuesdays will be some kind of crafting, and that includes Legos, but not necessarily limited to Legos. We can also do punch needling work, embroidery, cross-stitch, making some tote bags, and anything like that. I have all kinds of fun little projects that I have planned out. And this was the first one because it's Halloween, right? So I was like, we got to start with Halloween. Perfect timing, And then my hair is nice and clean, so, treat yourself and get yourself a scalp massage. Look it up on your local Google or something like that for a scalp massage. I highly recommend. It has helped my hair a ton. Also, reminding that the little fabric bowls are for sale still. They are 2 inches in depth. They are 6 inches when you get from here to here, and they are 4 inches like at the base here. And so, right now I just have this one holding this little guy. Isn't that cool? And he's ready to go anytime I need him. Boom, I have him sitting here if I ever need measuring tape. Then there we go, right? I have a nice little measuring tape all ready to go. Isn't that cool? But these are available for sale. They're $8 including shipping. And I can do custom things. I have some people that were talking about grommets in them and other things, and absolutely no problem. Whatever size and shapes you need, talk to me about it and we can get it for you. I've made all kinds of a mess, huh? Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I have been Chris Collected. Today is Tuesday, the 10th, or the 11th actually, of October. And thank you so much for watching. Eventually we'll figure out a name for this. The crafting corner on Tuesday. Tuesday's crafting corner. I don't know. We'll figure it out, right? Tuesdays together. How about that one? I like that name. Tuesdays together. That's a good one. The TTs. We can be the TT crew. But yeah, thank you so much. Thanks SOR for stopping by and hanging out with me. Thank you so much to Umpty for stopping by and hanging out with me. I appreciate it immensely. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thursday I will be doing, some making my business, and I'll be doing probably some more fabric bowls in different sizes and showing off that kind of stuff. That way I can show people what I can do. I also have a kind of a cool thing I'm working on right now, which is where is it? This one. I will have a store coming. So I haven't finished it yet, but I have the House of Improvement store. This is a thing called Big Cartel, and so I will have on there an actual ability to make stores and make products. So that way, hopefully by November is when the plan is to launch that, November 1st, and I'll have a website, and you guys can buy stuff off the website like this instead of just buying it through Instagram. A little more legitimate, But yeah, guys, always thinking, always improving. Stay improving, y'all. See you later. See you next time on Tuesday Together.